All right, good evening, everyone. It is Monday, April 6th. It is 7:03 p.m. This is a regular meeting of the town council. Will everyone rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Following town council members are present in Chambers, Gagnon, Mauer, Lapellis, Formicella, and Duva. The following town council member is here remotely, Kohut. The following town council members are absent, O'Rourke, Reed, and Wales. I will note any arrival remotely. I believe all three individuals informed me that if they were able to attend tonight's meeting, they would do so remotely. So I will keep an outlook at the number of participants and note their arrival when it happens. All right, so we do have a quorum for town council tonight. Moving on to our consent calendar. Is there any objection to passing consent calendar as presented? Nope. Hearing none, I'm going to pass the consent calendar as presented. Moving on to communications, item 4, A through I ask that they be incorporated into the minutes of our meeting. Item 5, public participation. I will begin with those in town council chambers. Is there any member of the public that would like to participate this evening? Once, twice. No. Okay. I will then turn online. Is there any member of the public that would like to participate this evening? I believe you can indicate if you would like to participate online by digitally raising your hand, which is a yellow hand emoji that you can select if you are here using your smartphone, your tablet, or your computer. I will unmute you if you do so. Once again, is there any member of the public that would like to participate during public participation that is here online? Please indicate so by digitally raising your hand. Seeing none, hearing none. I will also note that there are only 2 attendees. One is our library director and the other is Councilmember Cope. All right. Moving on, that's it for public participation this evening. Moving on to item 6, our appointments. Item A, Councilmember Mauer.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 26-031. Resolved that the Monroe Town Council hereby approves the first selectman's appointment of Philip Payne to the Historic District Commission as an alternate for a term ending July 1st, 2028.
Thank you. I will also note that Councilmember Reed is here, 706. I will allow to talk. Kevin, can you just...
Yep, okay. All set. I can hear you.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. So we have a motion to adopt Resolution 26-031. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right. Seconded by Councilmember Lapellis. Mr. Mauer, discussion?
Sure. Philip Payne has lived in Monroe his entire life and grew up in a 200-year-old house that has been in his family since it was built. This created a lifelong passion for history and historic preservation for Philip. Philip holds a bachelor degree in history and education from Gettysburg College. During his time there, he worked in the college archive where he digitized and worked with historic artifacts. He also interned at institutions such as the Mayflower Society in Plymouth and the M Shed in Bristol, England, not to be confused with Bristol, Connecticut. During those roles, he worked extensively in the history field, both in archives handling one-of-a-kind artifacts and in museums creating exhibits to educate the public. After graduating, Philip was awarded a Mellon Grant to research negatives from the Second World War that had never been printed. He then spent 2 years running his own freelance photography business, and during the COVID-19 pandemic, he obtained a position at Milford Photo, where he currently works. At Milford Photo, he has held many different responsibilities, including camera repair, custom framing, and managing larger events. And this appointment fills the seat vacated by Nina Gagg.
Thank you. And any other discussion on this item?
I'd just like to say that I've worked with PJ, kind of letting him know about the position, and he feels like a great addition to the Historic Society or Commission.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution 26-031, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 7-0. Unfortunately, Mr. Payne, I'm gonna have to ask you to come in during the week to be sworn in, if that would be all right. But congratulations. All right, item B, Councilmember Mauer, you're gonna have to be a little fancy.
Motion, yep. Motion to approve resolution 26-032. Resolved that the Monroe Town Council hereby approves the first selectman's appointment of Nicholas Kapoor,
Town council appointment.
Town Council appointment of Nicholas Kapoor to the Board of Ethics for a term ending. Do we have that?
It should be January 2027. Yeah, January 1st, 2027.
January 1st, 2027.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Councilmember Lapellis. Councilmember Mauer, discussion?
Nick is a lifelong resident of Monroe. He has served on the Board of Ethics, Town Council, and Board of Education. Nick recently concluded 8 years of service as a commissioner on the Commission on Human Rights and Opportunities, serving the last 2 years as chairman. Professionally, he is a professor of mathematics and associate director of the Center for Academic Excellence at Fairfield University. His research agenda includes LGBTQ+ politics, electoral behavior, AI use in K-16 education, and the state of higher education in America today. Nick holds graduate degrees in mathematics, political science, and business. He's excited to resume serving his hometown on the Board of Ethics.
Thank you. Other discussion on this item?
Only that this did go through the LNA, as all appointments to the Board of Ethics must do. Nick was asked about his ability to put aside personal feelings and decide things purely on the Code of Ethics, which he indicated he would. He talked about his history on the Board of Ethics and also that he would have no issue recusing himself from anything that might serve a conflict of interest, and gave numerous examples of his time on CHRO where he had to do just that and had no issue doing so, and was passed unanimously to come to council.
Thank you. Is there discussion on this item? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution 26-032, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 7-0. Mr. Kapoor, unfortunately, you're in the same boat as Mr. Payne. I'd ask you to come by this week to be sworn in by our town clerk, but congratulations. Right. Moving on to our action items this evening. Action item A, Town Council Committee on Finance, Education, Health, Public Safety Matters. Councilmember Lapellis, any update?
No updates.
Thank you very much. Town Council Committee on Planning, Zoning, Public Works, and Park and Recreation Matters. Councilmember Duva, update.
We did have a meeting last week. You, Mr. Chair, were kindly in attendance. We did discuss some matters. Still looking for more defined numbers, I guess the residents are. We reserved the meeting room 422 at 6 for the next meeting, trying to get our experts there, those being the town attorney, the head of Board of Finance and the head of, not the head of Board of Finance, the Department of Finance, and the head of Public Works, get all those experts there, because I think those individuals have the answers, or at least have better answers than I have and have had. So hopefully they can all show up and we can go from there.
Sure. Thank you. I did attend this meeting. I thought it was pretty productive. The residents just kind of want some closure as it relates to whether or not they will or will not want to go forward with having Aquarian or whatever entity it's called after the acquisition, to provide them water. So hopefully that will be taken care of by the end of the month. Hopefully we'll be able to have all their questions answered and have the subject matter experts be able to answer their questions by the end of the month. All right. Moving on to item C, Town Council Command Legislative and Administrative Matters. Councilmember Reed.
We did meet tonight. As Jason said, we did have an appointment and you saw that. We had two other action items for us, each reaching consensus to council, and I'm loading them up right now. So just please be patient with me. Not sure why they turned into Word documents all of a sudden, but 1 second. We did, as I said, there were two other items. Number 30 was the 2026 Connecticut Department of Agriculture for the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program Agreement. And there was number 29, which was the Performing Arts Engagement Agreements. That is it.
Thank you, Councilmember Reed. Moving on to item D, the Strategic Plan Committee. There was a question, I believe, by Councilmember Mauer last time regarding capital projects and when the Board of Finance was going to review those. And I just need to get into the message I received from Chairwoman O'Donnell. It is 4:14. I do not know the time, but the Board of Finance is having a budget workshop on 4:14. Regarding capital and revenue. So that is what Chairwoman O'Donnell let me know about the capital projects. Obviously, as a member of the public, you can certainly go to these meetings, but just letting everyone know if they are interested that is the date that they will be discussing capital and revenue through their budget process. And that's all I had for strategic planning.
Mr. Chair?
Yep.
First off, thank you for getting that information for me. Also, I'm not sure possibly strategic planning is the place for it. I'd like to request that the chair, and I'm happy to help look into this with any assistance we might need from the town attorney or the selectman or whoever it may be, for the creation of a long-term budget planning committee consisting of members of the town council, Board of Finance, Board of Education employees, town employees, probably the town employees that would make sense to me would be possibly our grant writer and somebody from the finance department, as well as maybe members of the lay public to create rather than only looking at the budget once a year when it comes up to budget season, who can, one, look at the budget multiple times throughout the year to make suggestions for the upcoming budget, two, look into what long-term planning we can do, such as combining costs between and throughout departments and make advisory notes to the various boards that decide that, Board of Finance, Town Council, Board of Education. And then three, act as a liaison from the town to both the state and federal level to advocate on behalf of the town of Monroe to the state on behalf of our elected leadership and appointed leadership to advocate when it comes to policy changes at both the state and federal level. I could see it falling under initially either LNA or strategic planning. Could also see it falling under FEPS with finance education aspect. So just something that I would like. I don't know where it should start. Maybe it should start in LNA. Maybe it should, and discussions about how, if it's even possible and how it would be possible, and then go from there. But something, or maybe strategic planning is the place for that. But I'd ask for the chair to consider and maybe consider appointing one of the subcommittees to do an initial discussion on that.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Brower. I will, I'll take the request under advisement and move forward appropriately as to the first to the ability of the town to do that. And I think at that point, then it would probably make sense to move forward and move it to committee if that were possible. But something I think that we can work on over the next few weeks or month to get at least an initial answer.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Item E, our Open Space Preservation and Acquisition Committee. Councilmember O'Rourke did inform me that they did need to continue to do some due diligence as it relates to 3 Rollage Pond Road as to whether or not that was a viable parcel to potentially acquire as the town of Monroe. There was not a final determination as to that parcel as of this meeting. And then finally, we have item F, our first selectman's update, which I believe all town council members present in chambers have a copy of. I will note that, like all of the first selectman's updates, I will ask that this update be included on the town of Monroe website for inspection by the public, as well as for anyone that would like to take a look and see the updates. I can read it if anyone would like me to. Why not? I'll read it.
Would you like me to read it?
No, it's fine. I'll take it.
I could do
No, it's fine. Even I'll read it. All right. First selectmen's update for the April 6, 2026 town council meeting for operations. The police contract, police union has officially entered into a 3-year contract with the town of Monroe. This contract fulfills the needs of the Monroe Police Department while considering fair negotiation on both PD and town side. Thank you to the police department for considering municipal pressures and exercising responsible collaboration during the process. As relates to capital projects in the community center site, work has begun with the town building inspector, John Morris, is ongoing. An ADA compliant walkway needs to be installed on the west side of the gymnasium for a code compliant means of egress. In addition, IT Director Paul Corse is gathering information and cost projections for certain audio and visual components needed for seminars and public events at the center. The entryway, carpeting, and reception area furniture are now being considered and will be installed in the near future. The Health Department Director has a short list for the kitchen, including specific sink sizes needed to comply with health requirements. For community updates, Unified Sports Day, Jockey Hollow Middle School Unified Sports Team was selected as the 2026 recipient of the Spirit of Inclusion Award by the Special Olympics of Connecticut and the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference. Proclamation was presented to proclaim March 31st, 2026 as Jockey Hollow Middle School Unified Sports Team Day. Congratulations to all school personnel that worked diligently on this program and to our students for receiving this award. I'm very happy I read the update out loud. They should be celebrated. So for Webb Mountain, the spring egg hunt. Webb Mountain had their annual Easter hunt where many families had a great time searching for eggs and watching for the annual Birds of Prey exhibition. Our happy egg hunter seemed excited to learn about some of our wildlife that flies around the Monroe area. Harmony Grange had their annual Easter egg hunt and pancake breakfast. Thank you to all the volunteers and community who supported another fun activity for families to enjoy in town. Monroe Police Department Penguin Plunge, I believe Mr. Maurer volunteered there early in the morning. The annual Penguin Plunge held by the Monroe Police Department was a great success. People of all ages suited up at the Great Hollow Lake to test their bravery by running into extremely cold water lake for the cause. I heard that it is the coldest as it's been in recent years.
10 plus years probably since it was colder.
Yeah. Thank you to the Monroe Police Department for always conducting professional and well-attended events. And that is our first selectman's update. And again, this will be shared on the Town of Monroe website if anyone was interested in reading that update.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
And if I could just add on the Penguin Plunge, the police staff who always do an amazing job with the event, but when I was talking to them, said that they were the 3rd highest fundraising for any of the plunges, for any of the Special Olympics fundraisers through these plunges in the state, and missed out on second by, I think it was $20. So
You should have taken 20.
it goes from the last year I asked. I said, does that mean I can go in at $20? and the answer was that would count towards next year. So, but
That's great.
yes, just they do such a wonderful job and raised I want to say over $40,000 just from this one event.
It's fantastic. A great event every year. And that's it for our first selectman's update. We have no matters of unfinished business tonight. I'm going to move to accept the following donations that individually exceed $1,500. First, to the Monroe CT 250 Committee, $2,000, which comes from the excess funds of the Monroe Bicentennial Committee, and then $2,833.63 from Ahold Delhaize USA Incorporated Stop and Shop to the Monroe Food Pantry. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Gagnon. As always, we're very grateful for all the donations, one of which is a balance transfer from the Monroe Bicentennial Committee to Monroe CT 250 Committee. But we're especially thankful to Stop and Shop for their donations to Monroe Food Pantry and helping those members of our community that are less fortunate and in need of assistance. And so the town is always eternally grateful for our community's support in helping the town and helping our residents. Is there any other discussion on this item? All those in favor of accepting those two donations, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 7-0. And item B is a tax appeal stipulation. I'm just going to put us on mute. We're just going to take a brief recess for a moment or two, and I'm going to inquire as to whether the town attorney is available for a phone call regarding this executive session. So I'm just going to put everybody on mute for right now while I make that phone call, and then we'll go back on the record as to whether or not there will or will not be a motion regarding executive session. All right, good evening, everyone. We are back on the record. I just need to make the motion before we close the doors. So we're back on the record. We're going to item B of new business. I'm going to make a motion to enter executive session, inviting the town attorney to discuss a tax appeal stipulation. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Mauer. Any other discussion regarding this item? Hearing none. All those in favor of entering executive session, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Passes 7-0. We're going to enter executive session at 7:27 p.m. and we are now closing the doors. I am going to stop the recording, but I do not see a need to kick anyone out, as Councilmember Kohut and Councilmember Reed are the only participants. All right, good evening, everyone. It is 7:33 p.m. This is again regular meeting of Town Council, Monday, April 6th. Town Council entered executive session at 7:27 and ended that executive session at 7:33 p.m. No votes of Town Council were taken during executive session this evening. We will continue with the tax appeal stipulation. I'm going to make a motion. I'm going to make a motion. I move that Town Council adopt Resolution 26-033, that the Town Council hereby authorizes the first selectman and town attorney to execute, deliver, and enter into a stipulation regarding tax appeal litigation with Gen 4 LLC. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Lapellis. Discussion on this item, anyone? All right, hearing none. All those in favor of adopting Resolution 26-033, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 7-0. That's it for item B, and that's it for new business. We have no unfinished matters of unfinished business this evening. We have no unfinished matters of new business this evening. There is no second public participation tonight, and I am adjourning this meeting at 7:35 p.m. Thank you, everyone.